get an initial look at holiday spend out of Adobe today, Jim, and I think they're looking for growth. This is looking November 1 to the end of the year of about 5.3, which wouldn't be bad. That's online.
No.
But usually well-watched numbers out of Adobe.
Well, we do
Analytics.
have a big Amazon event coming up.
Yep.
I think that could matter. A lot of people feel that Amazon, I'm never going to say they lost their way, they're too smart, but that Amazon has been ho-hum. And I don't think Andy Jassy has been ho-hum, but your record is the record. And right now, he's got the L for the year, not the W.
You mentioned that Tesla event tomorrow. We're not exactly sure what it's going to be. They put up a 9-second video, which did involve some car headlights, speculation about maybe that low-cost Model Y finally. We'll see tomorrow.
I still think it's been underrated how much that company changed when he broke free of the president, or when he split with the president. I don't want to be political about it, but there were a lot of people I think were saying, listen, we got the expiration of credit, and there's a lot of people who just said, oh, okay, I'm not making a statement that I'm buying a Trump car. Remember, the country's split in half.
In your book, not to give too much away, you write about Tesla, and you kind of say that his erratic sort of out of political involvement comes at a price. You can't recommend the name as highly as you would otherwise.
I can, and I do say I never bought it because I felt he was erratic, ill-tempered, a person whose judgment could be in question, and I think that anyone who saw him in Washington would tend to agree with me. You saw someone who was frantic, someone who I think did many took many ill-considered actions, and then he got out of there and he attacked the president in a way that the president has not been attacked.
Right.
The president actually showed graciousness.
We'll see Q3 deliveries. Obviously, we're great ahead of that expiration of the tax credit. I noticed today got an upgrade of Ford.
I like that upgrade.
Out of Jeffries.
People are missing the fact that Ford, been waiting. They've been, Farley's such a good guy. He's got the best hybrids, okay? And what we're winning, we're going to go to be a hybrid country, I believe, not an EV. And he's ready. And that's why that stock is sneaking up. I would buy Ford. I think this is Farley's time.
Yeah. Last thing on autos is a headline, I think it's out of Bloomberg, Reuters today, that they may announce a $10 billion investment in the U.S., which would be 5 fresh versus a prior 5 announced.
Need anything they can get.
Yeah.
And this is one, this industry is, GM has been the winner, but no one, on the stock base, no one thinks it's really flying, but.
Today, though, it's all about the chips. AMD up 32 to start the morning. And finally, I love this upgrade out of Morgan Stanley of Micron, Jim. The title is literally better late than never.
Yeah, I mean, look, you had to buy it right after they reported the quarter, and then the stock went down badly. Of course, it went down for no reason whatsoever. By the way, Taiwan Semi is on fire today because we realize now they got giant orders from AMD and giant orders from NVIDIA. So, I mean, that's a one to buy. I think, look, Sanjay came on our show, Sanjay Mehrotra from Micron, and he's a humble person, and the stock got clobbered in part because
got short there because of the EMAs.
That's not his nature.
I'm not really trusting this level.
He's not a fifth grader.
I'll tell you what, though, Jim, the SMH.
That might be proven wrong.
42%.
Let's watch.
Just the SMH alone.
It's back.
Yeah.
Look,
I can't add like that.
They're filled with ARM. They're filled with Marvell. They're filled with all the companies that we talk about. I just think people continue to underestimate why everyone's doing this. Jensen knows that Meta has to have social and glasses. He knows that self-driving is Musk. He knows that robot is Musk. He knows that Google is search.
It was an early entry for my style. I usually like to wait till the first 15 minutes are gone.
Of Microsoft that they weren't being has been driving them for years. That's why Satya Nadella
But
is such a great
it looked right. It looked right.
Second place.
Not as
No
no vertical.
consolation prize.
No, in the verticals they want to have 100% of the verticals.
First target, 75.
I didn't think that Google had it. I thought that the judge
Second target, 71.
no one was going to go from
73.
Google to Gemini. Well, it turns out when you go to Google, you don't need to go to anybody. When I got at Street.com, what we did was we said, made a deal with Google. We knew that they would refer traffic to us. That's how we became a big company. Of course, then we shrunk, but that's what everybody was relying on. Now Google keeps the traffic because Google's so good. I did not expect that. I misjudged Google. I feel awful about that.
Well, certainly the shares have shown their resurgence.
Oh, the thing
all
actually-
summer long, all we do is talk about existential threats.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's a quantum computing stock. I mean, it's a rocket ship. It's a uranium. Look at Aqua. Will you stop with the Aqua? Holy cow.
On Palantir, there were some chartists over the weekend looking at a potential double top at 190 or another rejection at 190. I know you don't believe it, but what do you make of that chart on Palantir?
It's going to go burst right through.
You think so?
I love the way the stock reacted to the idea of a Reuters story which said that the Army that there was an actual kind of breach. And then immediately Karp comes out and says, that's solved, what are you doing? And so then the buyers came back. 4 a.m., the buyers came back with a vengeance. They're in there taking it, moving it up 5. The Palantirians are more vociferous than the Nvidias. Oh, boy, we've got it.
You ready to do this?
It's a big interview. We wanted all morning, and I've got to tell you, this is the most important deal I've seen in ages. That's why shares of AMD are surging. Do I just use that word surging? How about like colossal gain? A company announced a massive new 5-year deal with OpenAI. Cannot explain to people how big
And
this is.
Q and QQQ reacting to the upside.
Co-founder and president Greg Brockman.
I'm not very sure I'm gonna get my
Start with you, okay?
my risk reward on this trade, but
Great to see you guys.
Great to see
I
you.
gotta trust the
This is a huge
setup.
because I think a lot of people
And
felt
that's
that
one thing I haven't been doing is trusting the setup
in terms of be able to power in terms
enough. You know, like I take a position and I take it out
of what you've
too
done in
early.
the last 2 years that make people realize that wait a second, this is not a one-horse game.
So that never really helped me.
This morning, it's a big day for AMD. It's a big day for
First target is 76. Second target maybe a 72.
Right. What we're seeing is there's just a massive demand for more compute. I mean, there's so many applications for AI. There's so many places where we'd like to see it used, and compute is the foundation of that. So we're super excited to announce this deal with OpenAI. I think it has been something that we've been working on for a long time, and I think it says a lot about sort of the importance of having the right compute technology to really power this next wave of AI. So very, very exciting. It's a huge deal. 6 gigawatts is a massive deployment at scale, and we love working with OpenAI, truly a leader in this great industry.
Okay, so Greg, I've not been able to meet you, and I feel remiss. Obviously, you're one of the most important people in this world of AI. I wanted to ask you. A lot of people feel that there was a deal that you made with Nvidia, and was it something I was loathsome. People were saying it was circular. I thought that was just blasphemy, because I felt that they really were going to go to whoever else had great power. You went to Lisa and AMD. Why? What attracted you? What was in the chips that you felt made it so you didn't just need Nvidia?
We need as much computing power as we can possibly get. And I think the whole industry right now is trying to really adapt to the amount of demand for AI services that we see coming over the next couple of years. And I think that when it comes to the suppliers of this computing power, I think that NVIDIA has something very special. We use them for training, we use them for inference. AMD, I think, also is really sort of delivering in terms of the next generation of chip that they've been working on. We've been providing feedback. We've been doing a lot of software work to be able to enable it for inference within our infrastructure. And we really see the whole ecosystem as being something that's coming together to deliver the amount of inference that will be required to bring AI to everyone at scale.
And why the warrant deal? Was it not enough to just have a terrific partnership?
Yeah, maybe, Jim, let me make a comment on that. First of all, I think we have to get really on this big picture of, Sam and Greg need more AI compute, and, our job is to deliver that. The thought process around the warrants is...
The truth is, the world's never seen anything like Sora, and the amount of creativity that we've seen unleashed, and even just the ability to put yourself into a video, no one's ever had anything like that. And so I think there's a whole new opportunity here for a new industry and for ways for people to enhance their existing IP portfolios and to create whole new ones.
This could be a long, but this is scary.
You obviously are
carry along.
Thank you so much. Great to see you guys this morning.
Thank you.
Greg and Lisa.
I usually like to go down if price is going down. So I kind of like to see a short setup form,
Series exclusive with Nike's Elliott Hill. Don't go anywhere.
you know. Which I think that's what's gonna be. A short setup coming up right now.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla. Sarah Eisen's here at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. David Faber has the morning off. Coming up this morning, AMD shares are spiking on this big new partnership with OpenAI. We're going to talk to longtime chip industry watcher Patrick Moorhead about the latest tie-up in this AI arms race. Sarah didn't speak exclusively with Nike's chief Elliott Hill, his first TV interview since taking the top job at the company's headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon, as he gets ready to mark 1 year in the role. Here on his plan to turn around that storied brand. How was your
I'll sell two a 67.
Experience, but you know what, it was worth it because really got to meet and interact with Elliot on his home turf and see some of the innovation that's going on there. He's got a turnaround job ahead of him, so I got a sort of front row seat, and I'm excited to share it.
So two there.
In a little
Perfect.
bit. Carl, you know, starting
Position at
down,
168.
and yet the S&P 500 is really resilient. What's notable today is the politics changing around the world and that reverberating around global markets. There's the U.S. market. Different story in France. I mean, we're watching these French bonds. They are sinking, higher yields. The French stock market is under a lot of pressure today. This after the brand new prime minister resigns yet again, just hours after announcing his cabinet, which was sort of rejected. And now France is in political turmoil. It's been in political turmoil really since 2022. I think this is the fifth prime minister. And it's all around the debt, and that's why we're seeing market reactions. They have an unsustainable debt problem and fiscal issues, and all the solutions just keep getting rejected. So I think the question now is, what does President Macron do about it? Does he appoint someone else? Does he appoint someone in the opposition? Does he call for legislative elections? Remember, he did that last time. It didn't work out so well. Does he step down? I think there are some real questions, and there's some analysts writing about that this morning as well. And then it's unclear where the presidential election would go from there. Look at the French banks. I think they tell the story. The bottom line is weaker growth because they can't figure out what to do about the debt problem. I mean, they have more than 100% debt to GDP, and it's been a political hot potato on how to deal with it.
Yeah, 10-year yield over in France, close to some 14-year highs. That said, I mean, the U.S. Is still underperforming the rest of the world by the most since 2009, in part because some markets are red hot, and Japan's a good example.
Japan at a record high, yeah, on politics as well today. So it looks, the ruling party positioned a new leader to become the prime minister. This is the first female prime minister that Japan is going to have, Sanai Takaichi, and she's pro-stimulus. And that's why the Japanese Nikkei is really excited about it. This pro-growth, they're going to fiscal spending, but not so much the bond market. Yields are a little bit higher. Bonds are selling off in Japan. The yen is a little bit weaker, so there's rejoicing over there. So just because our government is shut down and we're not going to get, jobless claims likely if this continues into the coming week and everything, there's a lot going on politically around the world that's moving markets that, could be having an impact on treasuries. We're seeing higher yields.
Have a
today.
stop right there.
So, Carl, I'll just finally point out what's working amid all of this. Bitcoin, record high. Gold, record high. Those two continue to climb, whether it's safety, whether it's uncertainty,
When I watch.
whether it's the fiscal situations around the globe.
When I watch.
The
My position's perfect.
result in more spending, right? Japan, we're talking about more fiscal stimulus.
To watch. I'm not gonna add
With the shutdown, it's all about spending.
because that was a big bounce.
Bitcoin goes up.
I need more data.
Gold at 4K seemed a little aspirational, not that
High
$30 or
74.50.
cross that line if we do. Let's bring in Ruchir Sharma, Rockefeller International Chairman, founder.
So that's the stop, 74.50.
This new piece in the FT today titled America is
That could be another beautiful short from the orb, but I don't know, man. I need more data.
provocative piece. Although over the weekend, Washington Post pointed out that GDP gets more contribution.
I would like to see a little more battle and then another fail.
All the spending by all the consumers in the country.
That's exactly what I said in this piece, Carl, which is that if you just look at the AI spend, that alone accounts for 40% of GDP growth this year. But there are second and third order effects. The other is coming from the wealth effect from the stock market. In the stock market, as you know, 80% of the gains in the US stock market this year are on the back of AI plays. Now, the US stock market, as you know, the top 10% own nearly 90% of the US stocks. And if you look at consumer spending in the US, it's all being driven by the top 10%. In fact, the top 10% have never had such a large share of the overall consumer spending in the US as they have this year. So this is very much an AI story being played out at multiple levels. And even on capital flows, you spend the opening segment speaking about how France and even Japan are having troubles in their bond market. Now, the US, as you know, that the debt and deficit level, at least the deficit level in the US, is even higher than in France and Japan. But the reason the US has lower yields than at the start of the year compared to those countries is because an implicit bet even in the US bond market that America is going to see a big productivity miracle, and so therefore these debt and deficit levels are very sustainable. So I think that that's really what's going on, that it's all about AI.
Might buy more, but I need to see a wick above 67.73, another fail. But if that happens at 5, it's going to look somewhat bullish, so I don't know if that makes a lot of sense for me to add there. I'm gonna write this to 67.56 if it breaks down.
Because I think that we got extremely overvalued.
I just touched it. I didn't have the balls to add.
Who are bringing money into America today want to hedge some of that capital inflow.
It didn't give me the right
Continuing at a record pace. In fact,
amount of confidence. If I had,
the American stock market attracted nearly 300
if I had a wick above
in the second quarter, which was
and down, then I would come in. But just for the touch, I thought that he might have taken some
especially foreign investors, is that they're hedging
speed, you know.
and that's what's leading to some of the dollar weakness. And remember, the dollar's coming off a very expensive
So
valuation at the beginning.
that's why I've been able to keep my money lately. It's because I'm not.
And yes, I do believe the
I'm waiting for better signs than just a touch, you know.
discovered more now. I mean, I find it really fascinating that we have so much pessimism about Europe, and yet, as I point out in the article, that this decade, outside of the top 7 stocks, European stocks have in fact outperformed American stocks. So the point in the piece that I'm trying to make, Sarah, is that this bet on AI better pay off for America, because outside of that, the rest of the world has been outperforming.
Bashir, do you think, I mean, we keep hearing more chatter about a productivity boom that really might not be that far away. In fact, we might already be seeing the early signs of it. Do you think that's relying on the capex that we're talking about, or actual adoption and use cases that might already be in practice?
I think it's an implicit bet on both, right? Which is because productivity has already been picking up even before the full AI effects have come into play. The productivity growth began picking up after the pandemic. So there's been a much more focus on cost efficiencies after that. And I think that people are now expecting that as AI is adopted more in the next few years, that will lead to a further pickup in productivity. So yes, the US bond market and even the stock market is implicitly betting on at least a 1 percentage point increase in productivity from here. And the reason I say that is that the only reason you can sustain such high real interest rates as we have now compared to what we had in the past couple of decades is if you end up getting an increase in productivity. So yes, the US market is making an implicit bet that because of increased AI adoption from here, that productivity growth will go up by half to 1%, at least from here.
It needs to break down, yeah.
Just as we were speaking, has
I'm going to 67.56.
highly respected person of great wisdom, he says, and strength. Tremendous news.
I
for the
mean,
incredible people of
60
Japan.
would be-
Congratulations to all, and recognizes that she's the first female prime minister. A lot of people say
61 would
she's
be
a disciple of Abenomics, right wing, pro
an amazing.
She's, the Trump of Japan.
It'd be
or
almost 10
even that maybe. And I
points,
do wonder
yeah.
how much that pays off in the markets to bet. If you look at just what happened with Argentina, for instance, to have an ally and someone who this president respects and backs, I mean, it really works out for investors.
For a while, but Argentina's having like a lot of trouble this year. So I would say that yes.
Right, but then they got bailed out.
Yes, so I think that's it's important to have that. But these dynamics can change. The other dynamic that I've been seeing, Sarah, is what's happening between U.S. and India. That they were considered to be great allies at this time a year ago, and today they can't get a trade deal done. So I think it's very difficult to bet on these political equations because they can change very rapidly. And even in Argentina, I think Milei is realizing that he needs a lot of domestic support, no matter how much the U.S. bails him out. I mean, Argentina, after being the best performing market in the world last year, is this year the worst performing market in dollar terms from all the markets that I see. So I'd say that betting on
There's no reason for this to recover like it just did. So
whether these equations are very fluid and can
he
change
needs,
over time.
yeah. This
Put my money on the back of a
anyway.
equation at least. But yes,
No, 67.
broad point that you're making is that
There is a confluence at 67 on the pre-market.
Carl made that point with the
There's a
US
big
stock
buying
market
spot, but
this year, but ironically
that's
it's
it.
underperforming by the most in many years because the international markets are catching a bit again. So I think that's the bigger story which is playing out. And as far as the US is concerned, it's all about AI. So my sort of portfolio recommendation is a very barbell one, which is that if you want to be in the US, it's all about AI. But if you want to be in any other
I got stopped out.
of the world,
That was a big bounce. Let's see.
are lower and the
Let's see if in the supply zone. Let's see now if he gives me a long from the orb. I'm on a call. Maybe a little too early. Target 79.25. I'm not gonna add because he didn't give us the entry I like. The sweep under the level that's supposed to hold, and
Welcome back. It's been
you
nearly
know,
7 years.
and
Longtime Nike
and
executive
move
Elliot
up.
Hill came out of retirement to take the CEO job following the departure of John Donahoe, who led the company during the pandemic years. Now, Hill is trying to turn around the company and the stock, which is still less than half of what it was during the pandemic peak. I sat down with Hill at Nike's headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon for an exclusive interview, his first television interview since taking the top job, and started by asking how his return to Nike came about.
I was here for 32 years.
I don't like how the interest for calls are not growing very much because my position was completely wiped out where it was. I'm a 190 average price, and what the price is right there is right 191. I got in a little earlier than that, so my position moved up. That means on the options that there's not a lot of interest on calls right now. So this might fail, but I might build a position. I'm gonna hold, you know,
And you got a call.
under 72.
You know, it's one of those things
Who
that
called Tim Cook?
I've talked to Tim and Mark and Phil and all of the above, and the answer was yes immediately.
I'm gonna hold.
That I would absolutely come back.
70 under 72 be my stop, but then if he wakes back up, then we're in the game again.
Get those phone calls, you say yes, or at least I did. I've always been a hand raiser.
And because I only have one contract, I don't know if I can hold this
Had a year to really dig
until
in
we,
and sift through
you know.
the issues because you came to turn it around. So
I
what
hope
did
this gives me a chance to build a position.
Well,
Let's see.
try not to look backwards. I've tried to snap the chalk line and move forward, but if I had to, I think I'm going to oversimplify it. I think when COVID hit, supply got constrained, demand goes up, and I think the team did what I think anybody would do. You shift product over to digital commerce, and all of a sudden that takes off. Double revenue, double margin, and it's a winning strategy. And then, of course, everything normalized. Physical retail started to open back up, and we continued on with that strategy. And so continue to invest in Nike Direct digital commerce. And I think over time,
Maybe that was it.
hurting the brand because
But I'm not convinced.
that want to shop choice, and they want to shop
I'm not convinced.
each of the different channels of distribution. And
Can't risk my capital on shitty, on iffy setups.
the other one was also maybe spending too much focus on 3 sportswear styles that I think we ended up putting too much revenue behind those 3 sportswear styles.
So now you're
Yeah.
fixing it, you're cleaning up. Yeah, but we've also talked about culture.
Yes.
And the unique culture of Nike and what you're doing to sort of bring things in a different
She's
direction.
holding.
Which was October 14th. I stood up on stage, and my first slide had 2 images and 2 statements. We're a sport company,
This could be a chop from now on.
and we're not, they're not muitually exclusive.
This
When we
could
grow
be a
sport,
chop from now
we
on.
grow the overall marketplace, and when we grow the overall marketplace, I like our chances of growing. And you would have, I got it was a loud clap because, hey, we're going back to sport. We're going to put the athlete back at the center of everything that we do. And I think that's really helped from a cultural perspective, anchoring and centering us back on sport.
10 minutes for the next 5-minute candle.
Really spending time
I mean,
on
10
our
seconds.
segment.
10 minutes for the next 15.
Come to the office every single day.
Gotta watch and try to build a position here if it gives us the opportunity to.
Also started, we reintroduced our maxim.
I need to go red on this one to build. Wick under, make a new low, sweep, come back up.
And accelerate the
That's what I need, especially on a 5-minute setup.
At the forefront of everything you do, because people think of Nike that's how it's always been.
Yeah.
What are you doing differently there?
Well, so
Maybe it's gonna give us position right now.
Nike Jordan founder, and we're reorganized. Just early September, we reorganized each brand by sport. So think Nike running, Nike basketball, Nike training.
I got the same position.
Cross-functional teams.
But at least
Segments.
the story is looking better now. It touched, it went to the touch.
Segments. And the competition.
Maybe I should have added there in the trust that would do that, but
Cross-functional teams, they come to work every single
okay.
day. The Nike running team does, and they're there to serve the running athlete. And every decision they make, whether it's an innovation story,
I gotta sell at 80.
distribution decision, or if it's a marketing story, it all anchors on.
He wants to go up, boys
That used to be separate.
And we were organizing
and
by
girls.
women's kids, so that
Sell one at 67.80.
with men being the primary,
That's a plausible
kids being the primary.
spot to sell.
So it's Nike running.
NQ made a new high.
And Jordan, same thing. Jordan basketball, Jordan golf, and so these small cross-functional teams focused on a different consumer segment, and that's really helped us get sharp in a couple of
15 minutes might be looking really good.
I think we'd lost
Just
some of
lacking,
that
yeah.
I have to sell one at 80.
product, and we're wearing some here.
Yeah.
So
Bomera Premium. And you had a good quarter with running. I know.
yeah, we had a great quarter with running, and so we're getting sharper on innovative product, emotional.
Trust the setup. Now look, check it out.
Integrate elevated marketplace, not just Nike Direct,
First time
wholesale, digital.
that our EMAs might turn positive and push this through. So it might be a premature move to sell at 67.80. I'm gonna watch this price action and see what he does.
The
I might just hold.
of Nike, which also feels like it's been lacking in the last few years. How do you restore something like that?
Yeah, I think so. First of all, what we
That's a good 5-minute one. Let's see if he holds 67.75.
ground game. That means
We need that to hold.
teams and teammates down into the key cities around the world,
But the market has its way.
whether it is culture or sport, and we lost the people. So we're reinstituting and allocating resources to the key cities around the world to make those connections with influencers and to help be the pulse of where
Market has its
how do we
its
influence
ways.
and so that is a big part of our strategy moving forward. Here's what I would say. I think we've got to make sport cool, and it's our opportunity to invite 8 billion consumers into the world of sport, fitness, and the lifestyle of sport. And when we do that, we grow the overall marketplace.
Has the competition gotten tougher since the last time you were here and trying to do that?
Oh, no question that the competition is strong today. I think part of it is because we opened up shelf space and open to buy in the wholesale business.
I've always been selling my positions way too early.
We understand the responsibility and what's ahead of us in that wholesale business, but the teams are working hard. And I do believe moving to the sport offense, that sharpness by sport will not only help us be better with the consumer in terms of product and storytelling.
EMA is about to cross positive.
So you become more competitive because
He needs to hold 75.
it's very different than the competition in basketball.
been a strategic, when you said it was one of the places that you wanted to fix, it's a strategic imperative.
Back in my entry.
What's driving that growth now?
So the three areas in the quarter that we pointed to was North America, running, and then
Added one more.
sort of proof points.
Maybe that wasn't a good idea.
In terms of wholesale,
But I like it. I have only 3 points.
but the team's done a really
3
nice
points
job going back into existing
risk.
distribution and being, again, this
Should
is
hold 75.
consumer. What consumer shops Dick's versus what consumer shops JD versus what consumer
So
shops
iffy.
Block. They're all
It's an iffy setup.
and getting charged.
Almost too obvious that,
And then
you know, he might fail. Market loves to do that shit. Like, make shit obvious.
the sell-through of our product. And I
And
think
you've also opened it up.
You know what I mean?
On Aritzia.
we do have some new distribution. The team stepped back and said, hey, where are those consumers today that we're not serving? In the United States, as an example, we opened up Aritzia and Urban Outfitters.
And Q rejecting.
Female consumer. And then, of course, Amazon, as you pointed out, we've had a really good launch with our Nike shop on Amazon as well.
So what ultimately is the right balance that you're trying to achieve between wholesale and direct-to-consumer?
Yeah.
Because for so long, it was all about direct-to-consumer. That's
Seeing these obvious little setups fail all the time.
So here's what I'd say.
Might have some balls should hold this.
And every country has a little bit.
You might chop around for a while.
What we do is we give a framework to our country teams, and the whole idea is around making certain that
Things are reacting to that touch today.
choose to show up and shop
Like touch,
physical, owned,
touch right here.
and wholesale.
Touch, touch. People are eager to come get in positions. Touch. There's 1, 2, 73, 73, 73. Yeah. There's no sweeping to the high.
And that when they do
Today's gonna go to the T.
presentation of our brand.
So I'm selling 1 at 80.
So I'm not going to sit here today and say, hey, ultimately it's this
magic
percent.
number.
But there's a certain consumer
looking
that
good.
wants to shop Nike Direct. They want to shop Choice, and we need to be there in a thoughtful, meaningful way.
How do you turn around Nike Direct and digital? Because you did call that out as one of the lagging
Yeah.
categories.
Yeah, the physical, I think we have a really good path forward on physical retail. House of Innovation in New York would be a really nice proof point, along with, we have a smaller format that we did in South Congress in Austin. We have a store on South Congress Avenue, focused on sport. And so when you walk into Consumer Now shops, House of Innovation.
Might be a chop.
It's going to seem so simplistic, but there's a running zone. So you walk into Nike running, footwear, apparel, accessories, men's, women's, all collectively held together, beautiful assortments, presentation, and oh, by the way, service. Runners serving runners, basketball serving.
This is all new?
All new. And so proof points are there. We've had double digits increases in revenue in those formats. So I think from a physical perspective, we're feeling really
There you
good
go. We're almost there.
that we're at it. And then on a digital,
79.
I don't know if you've seen the user experience, but we're really elevating the experience and anchoring it on sport again, sport moments, and innovation, and making certain that will be the rest.
Volume is increasing.
So
Above
any
average.
visibility into how long that's going to take to recover?
Yeah. Because
There we go.
it's going to take time to remodel.
Should go now.
And then in terms of digital, we already are resetting. Right
Well,
now.
I'm getting rid of 1 now.
You know, we did call that out in the quarter. It's one that we believe will sustain throughout the rest of the fiscal year as a headwind that we're working through. But I do like the strategy that we have in place and where the team's headed.
And inventory is like a key marker that investors are watching. You're doing a lot to try to clean inventory, get rid of this old styles that aren't working. Inventories are declining. But
Another
where are you
one.
focused?
So again, I think
Because I'm feeling weak. I'm finding some weakness there.
to go, but feeling good about the work that the team's doing around cleaning up the excess inventory. And the
If
whole
it
idea is
fails,
inventory to make
I don't think it's gonna bounce from 75. I'm gonna put a stop at 92
money, but it obviously
because I don't want to lose any money.
inspire the consumer with newness and freshness. And so I think the teams are doing a nice job of moving out the excess inventory, moving through it in a thoughtful way, and then also replenishing.
Actually, I'm gonna take my stop out.
At higher average selling
At
prices.
I'm at 191, right? Let's see.
It's not just about price either. It's about brand positioning too, right? You want this innovative product, this beautiful product, not only to sell through at a higher price, but the positioning of the brand is also elevated with the product as well. So
You told Wall Street that
Interest on
you're seeing
options are there.
under your belt, I think you said, but it's not going to be linear. And I'm just wondering what you mean by that.
well, when we come to work, we think about 3 brands and then multiple sports under each
Two
brand.
top wicks
And then
on the
100
5.
countries that roll up to
It's a lot of resistance.
And each brand times sport and each geo times country.
I might get out and reposition.
Of the evolution with the win now strategy. And so that's what we mean by it's not linear, but it is a portfolio, and ultimately the goal is to have the entire portfolio all working together to drive the revenue and the profit that we hope to deliver for all of our investors.
Where does Skims Nike come in? I know you said early response has been very strong.
Yeah.
How did that come together? Did you meet with Kim Kardashian?
Not me personally, but we had our team was looking at the consumer, and again, I think this is a great example of our team going, okay, there's a consumer out there that we're not servicing, and how do we leverage? And we could go out and do something like Skims doing, and vice versa. They could do something like we're doing, but why not combine the 2 brands and and use our understanding of athletes and movement and athletic materials and construction with their understanding of body shaping, and so the 2 teams come together makes a really powerful consumer proposition, and we offered it in their stores, our stores, and online, and like you said, we had a great sell-through.
How big can that get?
I think the consumer's going to tell us that. We used to have a maxim called the consumer decides, and ultimately, and I mean that, I think the consumer is going to tell us how good are we, and is the product as innovative as it ultimately can be, is it as stylish as it can be. I think it can be big.
Are we going to see more collabs like that from you, maybe outside the world of just straight sport?
Yeah, I think we have to keep our eyes open. You talked earlier, or asked the question earlier about cultural relevance. I think it is our responsibility to not only leverage the world of sport and what's happening in sport, but also to understand what's happening in the world of the culture, and how do we maybe collide and mash the 2 together to create a conversation about our brands. And so, yeah, absolutely, you'll see us continue to look for opportunities with the right collaborators around the world.
And speaking of sport, we're here on the basketball court where so many athletes, I saw LeBron's name on the wall, have been here, they've tested in the research lab, they've practiced. I'm thinking 10 years ago, the basketball business. You had all these stars, Kobe and LeBron and Kevin Durant on the team.
Gotta hold AMA, my turn.
These franchises were amazing on sneakers. Who makes you bullish like that right now?
Well, John Morant's doing a great job for us from a basketball perspective. We just launched his Job 3, had really good sell-throughs there, not just in the United States, but around the world. In China, he was there, sold through. Sabrina is Asia, and that we're starting to dimensionalize outside of just making.
There you go. Let's go.
Or men's basketball shoes, but also making women's basketball shoes, and we're excited about that as a new added dimension to the basketball portfolio.
We're going to have much more from that interview in the next hour, including, of course, his comments on tariffs, what it's like right now doing business in China, and how long that turnaround will
That
take.
was a very, very good bounce. This thing looking strong. I don't think 678 is gonna hold.
$1.5 billion, which was a revised estimate from the previous quarter.
This ain't gonna hold, man.
Over the next year, you'll find out where Elliott, how they're going to absorb that, and how
But
they're
if this makes
the
it
consumer, whether they eat it,
above 670.85 on SPY
on the turnaround.
and holds 670.74 and then it goes up, we're gonna go to higher day, boys.
Strategy. And what we heard there,
Wow, big rejection. Look at that.
and John Donahoe, and he's reversing completely the
Wow.
strategy that
Okay.
used to focus around
This 5-minute candle finished fully painted green. The wheel going up, but
sort of locked down, and
I don't know about this now.
so much when the world started opening up, and then getting the Nike
Still have a
product
minute,
on the
though.
shelves. You heard him talk about loss of shelf space there, and the fact that the competition
full minute.
has definitely gotten more intense, and that's
It's
why
a chop
we own
area.
sport. We own sport. We want to focus around that because it does feel like he sees a company that had lost that, and restructuring the organization around things like running and basketball, for instance, instead of women's and men's, is one way.
And 82 is a big rejection point because at 82 we have the 200 on the 2 minute, the 200 on the 5, and the 20 on the 15. If he clears that, then we're blue skies. If he clears 82.25, if he clears like 83, we're good. I mean, but it's gonna be a good long setup.
Still down 10%, and you heard him say it's not linear because they're in 190 countries and so many different categories. They can't all recover together. So in next hour, I really press on when the recovery is coming, and is it back to the,
That's my little doggy.
You wanna go outside, baby? Papa is in a position. I can't go outside
right now.
that can happen in the more fragmented
You're gonna have to hold your horses.
market. And we got into that.
Yeah, a lot depends on how competitors fare as well. That's good stuff. When we come back this morning, OpenAI teaming up with AMD, as you know, in this partnership that could give OpenAI a 10% stake.
New 5-minute candle.
AMD shares up 26%, one of the best days in many years.
NQQQQ not following. NQQQ tanking. About to Tesla a day. NASDAQ, which is not a good thing, so there's not a full market participation in this move. So maybe if you get a bounce from a lower day, maybe it's a good sign, but ES is on its own. ES and SPY on its own today. Completely opposite moves besides the opening dump. The opening dump was pretty much synchronized, but everything else. Now this bounce from ES is alone. Yeah. 67.75 needs to hold big time. I can't buy that dip. It's going to be under the EMAs. Yeah, this position is not edible. I think I can only add on this shit if he clears 83. Clears 83, then I don't think the orb's going to be too much of a problem. Starting to get close to the bottom wall of the ascended support of the channel, which is right here. Just can throw this price all the way up, but another try. If this one fails, it's gonna look bad. 79.50 was a high. This one touched it. 79.75 was a high. A pip from 67.80. Everything should have touched today, man. Yeah, when things try too much and don't get it, sometimes we have a big fail, a fast fail. He tries, and then it just collapses. Moment of truth right now. Try it again. A lot of top and tails on the 5. We need a full painted 5-minute candle to like. If this thing just closes at 67.80, we can go up. We have 1 minute and 38 seconds for the 5 to close full. Come on. There we go.
35 minutes into the hour here with 3 big movers we're watching. Bitcoin with all-time highs over the weekend.
SPY is about to clear a spot. Okay, 67.80 to the touch. This is looking very bullish right now on the 5. We need a close above 67.80. Need a close above the 67.80 mark. There we go. There you go. Let's get those shorts sweating. Yeah, 67.83, man, is gonna be a big deal to clear. We need this candle to close strong. 22 seconds for this to close above 67.80.
To keep the troops from coming to Portland to address protests at an immigration processing facility. A story we'll keep an eye on. Okay,
Slight rejection.
When we come back, it is Merger Monday.
Dude, if this EMA's turned positive in this area right here, oh, I fucking told you. Look at that. Fucking told you, man. What a dump. But the price of the options did not dump too much. That's a big move downwards to still be at 203. My position is 191, the cost, the average price. And the price is at $2. For that dump, dude, this needs to hold. That was a big rejection. Wow, what a trap, huh? What a trap. Okay, I'm out. I'm out because this is gonna fail. This is not good. This ain't good. Let's see if you test the orb again. But then if you test the orb, now we have the EMA's negative, crossing negative. That might be a short from there. You know? When I buy this dip, it's going to be an aggressive buy. A very aggressive buy. I had to take my dogs out. I might go in right now. I might take that. Puta, vacilei. Eu comprei high pra caralho. Bought it too high. I'm on the phone trying to figure out deposit that didn't go through, so I'm not talking too much, but can't take a break, boys. It's always some bullshit, man. It's amazing. Feeling great to trade today, and now my mental is fucked because an $18,000 deposit just vanished. Said it was returned. Now the money is not showing in my bank account, and on my ebook the money is gone. So, what the fuck, you know? And I'm on a Weibo fucking phone call now, and nobody answers. Being put on hold for 20 fucking minutes. I just closed this. I can't think about this anymore. Oh my god. I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. Three 796. My voice is my password. Please verify me. Please. Transfers. I'm calling about a transfer. No. sucks that I have 20 grand missing, and I have to keep my composure in trade. It's fucking bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Fuck. God damn, these guys are tasting my fucking pitch. Not even Wells Fargo is fucking calling me back. Jesus fuck, dude. Are you serious? Hello, brother. My name is Leonardo Locas. Thank you. $3,796. Brother, I made a deposit. I mean, a transfer from. If you go to my savings, you see a transfer. I deposit $19,023.83 from my Schwab account, and then I transfer $18,023.83 to my Webull account. And today I get a message on Webull saying that my transfer was returned. So I already put a call in for them to call me back about that. Do you see that money being returned? Because that money now is not showing. It's not showing over there, and it's not showing over here. So the money is gone, and I'm freaking out. I initiated on the 3rd. The 3rd was a Friday. Was it? Let me see. Yeah. Around 1:30 Eastern time. No, because you. Sorry, tell me again. Tell me again. The last four numbers are what? Uh, 1545. And it was the return just today too. So it said time of the return. That's the one the Webull website says. Time of the return was 6 a.m. Eastern time. So at the time of the return is at 3 o'clock in the morning for us here, right? My checky? What do you see? To return? What do you mean? What do you mean is showing? Showing that returned? Is showing a balance of 19,000? To come back. To come back from Webull, right? Okay, good. Okay, so it's not the money is not disappeared. So you see a trace that it's coming, it's being returned. Is that correct? Okay. $18,023.83. And I don't know why it was returned. Supposed to be what? The 19,000 I sent I deposited into Wells Fargo 19,023.83, but I just transferred to Rebu $1,000 less. Yeah, I kept 1,000 on my savings and I sent 1823.83. I want to know where is the 1823.83 if it's coming back, and that's what you said that you saw it's coming back, right? Or no? That's all right. That's all good, bud. Oh, but I mean, yeah, I can't wait. I mean, because it was just returned now, so I'm assuming it's gonna take a couple of days to return to my account, right? Okay, so but doesn't have to show you guys it's coming back. So at what time do I need to freak out? So do you guys see it's coming back or no? There's no trace it's coming back, right? Okay. So do you guys usually get information that the money is being returned or no? Gotcha, gotcha. So okay, so nothing's off right now. So I just gotta wait. I gotta talk to Ibu and figure out when I should be okay. And then if that money, sorry, go ahead. I'm finish, please. Okay, okay, okay. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, brother. MAY, cool name, man. Check it out. So if this money for some reason floats somewhere and doesn't show, can the Wells Fargo help me dispute this money back? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you very much, brother. I will, I guess, wait to be contacted by them. Cool. Thank you so much, brother. You too, man. Bye bye.
We'll bank space after the break.